Good morning, guys, or afternoon, or nighttime, or whatever time it is when you're watching this video. I just want to talk to you a little bit about a cool intercom system that I've put on this Humvee that surprisingly worked really good. Like, everything just kind of worked, which never happens with electronical things. So, let me open up the roof here. Oh, it's pretty dark. I may have to get out a flashlight. One sec. All right, I got my headlamp out here. So apologies, it's a bit dark. Doesn't get light as early this time of the year. So here's what I got here. This is basically an airplane or an aviation, well, it literally says it, aviation intercom. So, and I did remember to turn it off. Okay, sweet. So the cool thing about this is it basically allows everybody in the Humvee to have noise canceling for one, noise canceling headphones, communication for two, and also be able to listen to basically music. I can't really say the radio because you plug it into your phone, although you can listen to the radio on your phone, but listen to music, podcast, YouTube, whatever it might be. Now, everyone has to listen to the same station, but, that's kind of cool, too. So, it allows you to do all the things you could do in a normal car, except you just have to wear these headphones here. So, I bought this on either eBay or Amazon. I can't remember. It was definitely made in China. I try to buy American stuff, but the aviation industry is expensive. And if I was going to buy like a quote-unquote real one of these, it would have been just way too much, more than I was willing to spend. So this was about $200, which is radically overpriced in my opinion. You can practically get like gaming consoles for that much. But, you got to do what you got to do. So I'll just walk you through it here real quick, kind of from left to right. So this says in, out. This is for auxiliary in and out. Let me see if I can zoom a little. So auxiliary in and out. So I got this cable. It's USB-C to aux. I think it's 2.5 millimeter, whatever the standard aux size is. And you plug that into the in, and that's how you can listen to whatever you want. Whatever's on your phone will play through the headphones. It actually even works for talking on the phone, which used to be impossible in the Humvee. I can call someone, and if I leave it, I can't put it on speaker because I didn't want to play through this, but I just leave it on normal mode, hold the speaker as close as I can to my mouth. I can not only hear what someone is saying, but they can also basically hear what I'm saying with a little bit of background noise. So that's kind of cool. So that's auxiliary in. This button or dial, I should say, is a little bit confusing. It's labeled as mute. And then you've also got this that says pilot. I don't know. I guess this is for the switch. Pilot, radio, intercom. I'm assuming that's why they put that there. So this basically just controls, I think, the sensitivity of everyone's mics. Weirdly enough, when it is all the way left like that, it gets extremely loud. There'll be weird audio issues where you just have bursts of super loud volume when people are trying to talk. So I keep it all the way to the right. I don't know. Airplane people, pilots, they probably know more about this than me. I don't know why it does that, but it works fine all the way to the right. This is your on-off switch / volume. So you click it past, that turns the system on, and then that turns up the volume for everybody. So I usually kind of keep it in the middle. If it's all the way up, you get a little bit of distortion. Not the best audio quality. So that's all that is. Moving on here, this switch doesn't matter for a Humvee really, but you've got radio or intercom. If it wasn't an airplane, there actually used to be a cable up here I just cut off. But you would, from my understanding, plug that into an aviation radio, and then when you're just flying, talking to people in the airplane, you'd be on intercom, and then when you want to switch over the radio, you switch that to radio, and you can talk to the tower and stuff like that. This is a push-to-talk button. Once again, not really relevant in a Humvee. I assume that has to do with the radio if you're using that. So these ports here are for the headsets. On the left here is the output port. Oh, it's plugged in there good. So that's the output port, and this is the audio input port. I've just got the output port in because I was driving home from work, and you do get a little bit of, I don't know if I call it static, but a little bit of feedback when you have your microphones plugged in, basically the audio in. So I don't need that when I'm all alone and here by myself. I'd rather it be less background noise. It's not terrible, but if you're trying to listen to a YouTube video or something, even if you got multiple people in the Humvee, I recommend everyone just unplugs their audio in, and then if you want to talk at some point later on, you can plug that back in and you get just a little bit of feedback, but nothing terrible. This one has 4 different ones, which is part of the reason it was pretty expensive. You can get ones with just 2 for the pilot and co-pilot, and they're a good deal cheaper. So, you got to decide what you want to do on that. Otherwise, there's not much to it. A few things, I guess, just tips and tricks. This is Velcro tape. Super, I just highly recommend it. I use this in a lot of my off-road rigs. I'm filming with my phone here, but I've got Velcro tape on the back of my phone, so I can just put it on here. It works great. Works great for that. Sometimes the simplest solution is the best solution. Excuse me. In fact, often the simplest solution is the best solution. So that just mounts right there with the Velcro tape, and then if I ever need to take it off, let's say that unit breaks or something, I can easily swap it out. Another thing to note, that's running off a 9-volt battery. So you can wire it in. It's got a port right up here. It's probably kind of too dark to see. I apologize. But it's got a port up there, and you can run that off a 12-volt, like a cigarette lighter or something. I'm not doing that at the moment because I don't have any 12-volt installed anywhere yet. But eventually, I might do that. But the 9-volt works pretty good. I've had it on probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours. It's still going strong. We'll see how long it lasts. But anyway, what was I saying? A few tips and tricks. So the first thing is I would just use Velcro. It works really good. It looks pretty clean, actually. The second thing is I've got this backup camera system here. I've got a camera on the side, a camera on the back. These are wireless cameras. I did another video, I think, where I talked about this. Normally on the back of this monitor, an antenna goes in right there. And it was crazy, but I was getting like wicked feedback when I had that on. And I unscrewed the antenna and the feedback went away. So basically, and this is still good, like it works good still. The antenna on the back of the monitor is not necessary on a Humvee because this stuff is normally for like people with trailers and RVs where your backup camera might be 35 feet behind this monitor. In a Humvee, the antenna is not really necessary. So I unscrewed that antenna. All my feedback on that went away. So I don't know if it's going to be true for every model of these aviation intercoms, but definitely this one did not like the wireless camera monitor or, whatever you call it, computer antenna. So that's another little piece of advice. The second thing is these are insanely expensive if you're going to buy new. Just get on eBay and buy these used. Gear Report, by the way, has a write-up about all of this. They kind of inspired me to do this, but just get on eBay and buy these aviation headsets used. This is the, I guess, Telex Echelon model, so it seems like a pretty good model, but there's a lot of different options. I'd just go for whatever has noise canceling and is a reasonable price. These work okay. They're not the best, but they do the job. They do everything they need to do. I wish the microphones were maybe a little better where they would cut off when they sense background noise, but that also probably has a lot to do with the intercom system. So if you type in aviation headset on eBay, stuff will come up, and then if you type in lot, L-O-T, of aviation headsets, you can find 2 or 4 or 6 usually. So that's maybe a good option to save yourself some money overall instead of just buying these things individually. So that's about all I've got left. There's really not a whole lot more to say about this stuff. It works well. I've tested this out with my dad. We were both driving 60 miles an hour, and we could hear each other no problem. Didn't have to raise our voices at all. It was pretty amazing how well it worked. And then we even put on some music, and the music sounded good. The audio quality is pretty good. I mean, it's probably not as good as like a pair of AirPods, but it's, I'd say 75% as good. It's really not bad. And we could actually talk over the music too and still hear each other. So it's a pretty cool system. I really recommend it. One thing I'm going to be doing with it in the future is I'll flip the camera here and put my light back on it. So this audio in, I'm 99% sure I can buy a walkie-talkie, a GMRS radio. Actually, I already have bought one. And then just run an aux cable from the radio to this. And that way, when I'm on the trail and I'm with other rigs who are also using walkie-talkies, I'll be able to hear them. In fact, everyone in here will be able to hear what they're saying through the headsets. So that's really cool, especially when someone's trying to spot you. If you've ever wheeled a Humvee, you know it's impossible to hear what people are trying to say. These things are loud, even at idle. And, people have to resort to pointing their fingers when they're spotting you. So it will be cool to be able to hear what they're saying through a radio and saying, hey, there's a big rock right under your, rocker panel or whatever. And Humvees are massive, so the spotting is pretty important. I'm going to turn off my lights here. So the spotting is pretty important. Now, the one downside is I haven't figured out a way where I could communicate outwardly to walkie-talkies with that intercom. It probably can be done. I'll just have to, I just bought a mobile walkie-talkie unit, so I'll probably Velcro it onto the dashboard as well. But I'll just have to, if I want to say anything, hold the walkie-talkie up to my mouth and, hit the push-to-talk button, which is fine. I mean, that's how radios work. It's not a big deal. It's more important to be able to listen to what the spotter is saying and just the general conversation, I think, than it is to constantly be talking. And I'll probably be talking with other people in the rig and blah, blah, blah. Max justification for this, not being able to talk. But, that's kind of where I'm at with that. So maybe I'll make a video in the future with the radios. Be kind of interesting to see how that works. I think it's going to work pretty good. So anyway, guys, we're at like 13-ish minutes. I think I did that all in one take almost. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope this was helpful. I'm not an expert on this stuff at all, but if you have any questions, please just leave a comment. I'll try and respond, and I'm trying to do better about that. But thank you for watching. I really hope you can like and subscribe. It's hugely helpful and encourages me to make more videos, and I'm making a little bit of money off of this, so I want to keep doing it, but it's mainly been a hobby. And I just do this because I enjoy it. So hope you can like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.